Welcome to the place where we learn about improv. Cause public speaking can take you so far. Improbly speaking, say yes and flex your creative thinking. Improbly speaking, say yes and flex your creative thinking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Improvly Speaking podcast. I'm your host, Dana Gowan, and this is a special solo episode today. They're all kind of special when they're solo episodes because I don't do a lot of solo episodes right now. It's been about 6 months since I've done a solo episode, and I know I was working on it. I was like, I need to get through 3 of them and then I'll be good. The rule of threes, get through the cringe, and my 4th one will feel really good. And it's taken me 6 months to record a 4th one. I don't know why. Life has gotten in the way. I haven't wanted to do them. I don't know what it is. I really enjoy the guest episodes. I love connecting with people. I love hearing their stories. And so I just naturally gravitate to the guest interview episodes. But I also know I need to show, and I want to show a piece of myself too. And I need to do that through solo episodes. And so here I am with a new solo episode all about 35 and feeling alive. This is a very special birthday episode because I turned 35 in May. Yay! And I want to celebrate it by doing an episode about it and talking about it. Now, full transparency, I am recording this in June because May just went by so fast and I kind of lost track of it and or just didn't want to record. I'm not really sure, but I've had this in my mind for a while. And listen, I'm 35 all year. I can do this podcast episode now. I don't need to worry about, is it too late? Am I past due? Whatever. No. I'm going to tell you all about turning 35 and why it is so special to me, why this is a big milestone birthday. Other than like 35 is kind of mid-30s, whatever. This is a very special birthday to me. Before I get into that, I just want to share with you that I am the kind of person that tells everyone it's my birthday. Yes, I am that person. I am that person you probably get annoyed with or you totally relate to because you're the same way. Like, it's my birthday week, it's my birthday month. On my birthday, if I'm walking down the street or down the hallway at work or whatever, and someone says, "Oh, have a nice day," I'll be like, "Oh, I will because it's my birthday." I will share it with any and all strangers. I will let everyone know that it's my birthday. I have no shame in that. I am an only child, so maybe that's where I get it from. I had all the birthday parties growing up. And I don't know, birthdays were always a special thing in my family. My husband, on the other hand, he is one of 4. And, they had birthday parties and such. They definitely celebrated birthdays. But for him, it's like, it's another day. Like, don't mention it. Don't tell anyone. It's nice when people say happy birthday, but otherwise, like, he's not going to tell anybody it's his birthday because it is just another day. We agree to disagree on that. He actually just had his birthday too. His birthday's in June. I won't tell you which day so that you don't know when it is and you can't tell him happy birthday. But we did go out to dinner to celebrate. But for my birthday, it was a full improv weekend. So my birthday's on May 12th. It was on a Friday this year. We went to see a musical improv show, Baby Wants Candy, at Upright Citizens Brigade, or UCB. And Baby Wants Candy is a phenomenal musical improv group. Our teacher, I've been taking musical improv classes. Our teacher, Ashley Ward, is in that group. They're so good. So I went with some of my Passion Fruit Laser Blaster team. Shout out to PFLB. Also some of my musical improv class friends. And we're also starting a musical improv team. So I had a bunch of us get together and go, and it was a ton of fun. The show was a bit off the rails. Improv is a hard thing to reenact or retell after it's over because it just sounds very strange and weird, and it is. But it was a fabulous show. They are so talented, and it just gives me hope and motivation to just keep working at it because these people have been doing this for years and years. They studied theater and fine arts in school. So, I mean, they're very well versed and trained. I have a long ways to go, but you can always learn by just watching. And I definitely learned a ton there. And then after the show, a few of us got dinner and drinks. It was a really nice day. And before that, I actually did a volunteer day at work. So it was just a great birthday. I got to volunteer. I got to see an improv show. I got to have some margaritas and tacos. It was a great day. I really enjoyed it. The past few birthdays during COVID have been, a little isolated and stuff, but this one was great. And then that Saturday, I did even more improv. I had a musical improv class, which was a ton of fun. And then that evening, I went with some more PFLB friends to go see Ben Schwartz and Friends improv show. And oh my gosh, if you ever see Ben Schwartz and Friends in town, he is touring around. It's so good. They're so good. Everything they say gets a laugh because everything they say is funny. They're not in their heads. It is really professional, good improv. And that show was at the Largo, which is one of my favorite theaters in LA. I haven't been to many theaters, so I know I need to explore more to throw that out there that it's my favorite. But it is my favorite to go to because very low frills and like the seats aren't very comfortable. You have to pay in cash at the bar. There's not a whole lot of amenities to that place, but yet there's a special charm to it. And they have really good shows at the Largo too. Lots of improv, music, stand-up, comedy shows, improvised Shakespeare and Friends every month. It's a really great theater for comedy. In the Ben Schwartz and Friends show, there were 4 improvisers. There was Ben Schwartz, Katie Dippold, Brandon Scott Jones, and Drew Tarver. And they're all fabulous. They're all great improvisers. So it was just a joy to watch them play and have fun up there. And then after that show, we also went and got dinner. And this was a special one. We went to Molly Malone's bar, which is off of Fairfax. It's an Irish bar. They have some music going on in their back room, but it's special to us because when WGIS or World's Greatest Improv School, or WeGIS is what they're going by now, when we just first started offering in-person classes in March 2022, after everything kind of calmed down with COVID, they offered classes at Molly Malone's. Jim Woods taught a bunch of classes at Molly Malone's, probably for 3 or 4 months. We had classes there, and it would be during the day, like Sunday from 12 to 3. The bar wasn't open, of course, and it was clean. There was one time the bathroom didn't work, and that kind of sucked. But otherwise, it was fine. There was one time that I was doing a scene, and I don't know what I was doing, but I laid on the ground, like put my face almost on the carpet. And then the next day I was feeling kind of sick, and I was like, that's probably why, because I laid on the floor on the ground in a bar. Ew. I didn't even think about it. But it was a great experience to like have that special place. And so we had always talked about doing a Molly Malone's night. And I finally said, let's do it on the Saturday after my birthday. Let's go to Molly Malone's, get food, get some drinks. And that's what we did. It was wonderful. So shout out to BJ, Danny, Stan, Emily, and of course my husband Steven for coming out on those birthday dinners on either of those nights. I really appreciate it. And of course, everyone else who came to the shows and watched them with us. That was special. Very special birthday. Special enough that I've been talking about it for about 10 minutes now. But I do want to get into why this birthday is so special to me. One, I've turned 35, And that's a pretty big, mid-30s milestone there. 5 years to 40, which is weird. But here's why it's special. I think I say this in my first solo episode, my origin story episode, from terrible public speaking to improvly speaking. I think I say this in there. If not, let me clarify. When I was struggling with my public speaking skills, I used to hate public speaking. I was terrible at it. I would do it, but I just I would never get better. And I had always kind of thought, well, when I turn 35, I'll be more confident. I'll be better. I won't care what anyone thinks of me. I'll have this uber ultra confidence that no one can shake from me because I'm at that age where I just don't care. Like 35 was the magical age where I was just going to have all the confidence. I don't know why I thought that, like why I picked 35. I think in my head I thought I would have kids at this time. I do not have kids right now. And I thought, okay, as a mom, you just don't care because you care so much about what your kids are doing that you just don't care. Like you just have this confidence about you. I don't think that's true either. I think you have to still work at it even when you're a mom. But these are the thoughts that are going through like my mid-20s brain at the time. And so when I was struggling with public speaking and I had my last straw moment, which was when I had gotten my dream job, basically, my job out of grad school. And it was the job that I went to grad school for. I was so excited about it. I wanted to do a good job with it. And they even asked in the interview how I do with presentations. Am I a good presenter? And I think I said something to the extent of, I can present. I'm still working on my presentation skills, but they're not bad. I enjoy presenting, which was a total lie. I didn't enjoy presenting. But I wanted to do a good job with this. And 3 months into the job, I got asked to do a presentation in front of one of the HR teams internally. This was an internal wellness position. So my job was to present in front of different departments and do wellness programs for the internal employees at Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina. So I did that presentation, stumbled through it, struggled through it. Oh my God, I hated every bit of it. I went way over time. I rambled. I called out how nervous I was. I just did everything wrong. I didn't introduce myself. I didn't say who I was. I was new to the company. They probably didn't know who I was. I didn't introduce my coworker, Natalie, who was sitting there. They probably didn't know who she was. I was so in my head about the whole thing and I hated how it went that right after it was over, I went back to my office, ran to the bathroom and cried. And that was my last straw moment. I go through that in more detail in my origin story episode, probably more detail than you need. I really summarized that up pretty well there. But I hit my wall. I was like, I have to improve on this. I cannot let this issue with public speaking hold me back. And that is when I had my moment where I said, I can't wait until I'm 35 to get all my confidence. I have to get it now. I have to find it and discover it now. And I think I was 26 when I said that. So it's like, I can't wait until I'm 35. I have to do this now. And I made essentially a promise to myself that I was going to work on this and get better. And now 9, 10 years later, here I am at 35. And now I can say that I am where I thought I would be. I feel very confident in my speaking skills. I love being on stage and being in front of people. I love talking. I love connecting with people. I have found my voice. I even like my voice. That has been a big journey to even be able to listen to my voice and watch my speeches, listen to my podcast episodes, and then not only listen, but also like it as well. So I've found my voice, I've found my confidence, and I'm so happy to say that I'm here. At 35, I have arrived. Oh, maybe that's a title, 35 and arrived. But I feel like I've arrived before 35. But I want to say that I don't get to this point of confidence and love for myself and discovering my voice and loving my voice without doing the work. So I don't get to this point where I can say all this without actually struggling, putting myself out there and being willing to fail a lot. When I hit my last straw moment, I decided at that point to join Toastmasters. And I've got to give all the credit to Toastmasters and, of course, myself for continuing on in the journey. But I mean, Toastmasters gave me an outlet to practice my public speaking. It gave me an outlet to stand up in front of people in a low stakes environment and learn how to be okay with all eyes on me and projecting my voice and using my voice and telling my stories. It gave me a stage that I didn't have. And I'm eternally grateful for it. And I'm so grateful that Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina had a corporate club that made it easy to go to at lunchtime every week. I'm grateful it was accessible and it was easy to join, and it was pretty easy to try out and get started. You know, if it would have been harder, I might not have kept going, but it was also fun. I enjoyed the group. I made a lot of friends in that group, and I miss them too. Shout out to Blue Streak Toastmasters and District 58. I really miss them. They were a blast. But yeah, I don't think I get to this magical confidence age of 35 without putting in the work of doing Toastmasters. I've been in Toastmasters now for almost 9 years. I think I'm at 8.5 years. I joined October 2014. So it's June 2023. I'm about 8.5 years in, still doing it. I've since kind of moved on to other things as well. I'm not just doing Toastmasters, which honestly for the first 5 years is what I did. But I mean, Toastmasters got me started. It helped me find my confidence. It helped me to say, I love public speaking. I love getting up and talking in front of people. I have never said that in my life before Toastmasters. So eternally grateful for that. And then about 3.5 years ago, I wanted to try out improv. We moved to LA and we had liked listening to improv podcasts. So that was one of our goals, was to check out an improv class, try out an improv class. And truth be told, I did a 2-hour free improv workshop at Westside Comedy in February 2019. And it was so much fun. I had an absolute blast. I loved it. But then actually signing up for a full 8-week class really scared me. So it took almost another year. It took like 10 months to sign up for it. So I did my first Improv 101 class in January 2020. And I don't think I sign up for improv. I don't think I have the confidence, the courage, the guts to try improv without Toastmasters, without really establishing that foundation of public speaking and being okay being on stage. Now, for others, I'll say you don't need to have that foundation to do improv. But for me, I don't think I'd even want to do improv or feel like I can do an improv class without having that foundation and establishing that foundation. And I mean, honestly, I feel like not the rest is history, but finding improv has just opened the doors to many other things in my life now. I mean, I have a business called Improvly Speaking. I have a podcast called Improvly Speaking. I have just really dived deep into the world of improv and I love it. It's really changed me as a person. It's given me even more confidence on stage because now I have the skills to improvise. So I'm like, oh, throw it at me. I'm ready. And if I don't know, I don't know, but I can improvise in most situations and feel pretty good about it. And that is a skill I did not have for most of my life. I'm also not in my head as much. Improv has helped me to let go of perfection. I mean, it's really created this whole spiral upwards, working on myself, improving myself. And if I can let go of perfection and embrace mistakes and failures and say yes and have a growth mindset, I mean, that helps me in my personal life as well. And it really has. I am eternally grateful for improv and the gifts that it has given me in my life. They've been huge and so profound. I would say half of my improv journey at this point was online due to COVID. We had to, of course, be online. And so I didn't get a lot of in person practice for a while. And now, I mean, it's been a year and a half of doing in person stuff, and I'm definitely improved. I can see a lot of improvement. I still have some work to do in my space work and my stage presence and just kind of moving around, committing more. That's been my big goal recently, is just to commit. After listening to Pam Victor's episode where she talks about committing and just being fully present, and I realized I haven't been doing that. So I've been really working on committing now. And so far, so good. It's definitely improved. And then this year, 2023, I set two goals for myself, two, I guess, comedy personal goals. But this year, I wanted to take a musical improv class and a stand up class. Those two things scared me a ton. Musical improv is a whole nother level of improv, but I wanted to follow the fear and follow the fun. It looks like a ton of fun watching it. So I signed up in January for a musical improv class at Westside Comedy Theater. And I've since taken that class, which was level 1, and level 2 wrapped up at the end of May. Now I'm on a little break, but we've formed a little team from that class. We don't have a team name yet. I'll let you know when we do. But we're practicing, and I saw a ton of progress from just doing that practice. Those 2 practice sessions a month really helped me. And even the instructor, Ashley Ward, even told me later that she could see a huge jump in confidence from level 1 to level 2. And it was because I was practicing on the side. So that was really nice to hear and actually see for myself too. And I just want to add, I have never sung in front of people. I have no chorus singing training. You could probably tell that. But I've always been intrigued. I love musicals. I haven't seen a ton. I want to get more cultured and see more musicals too. I love musicals whenever I see them. I like to sing. My Toastmasters group, Club 21, knows that I like to sing because I have sung in front of them, but it was always kind of silly stuff and it didn't really sound very good. And it didn't have any music behind it either. So I really didn't have much training, but just doing the musical improv classes, jumping in and following that fear and fun have been huge for me in my improv development. And I'll say that now that I've done musical improv, I'm like, oh, I could do regular improv easy. I don't have to sing in front of people. Oh, that's fine. I can totally do that. So it's made my improv easier feeling as well. And then the stand up class, I've waited a little bit on this one, but I had all year. I have all of 2023 to do. And I just signed up for a stand up class, a 4-week stand up class with Solange Castro, who was one of my classmates in musical improv. And I found out she does stand up and she was doing this class. I was like, oh, I want to take it from you. So it's a quick 4-week class. I've had the first one. So I've got 3 more and we're doing a little show at the end of June. I'll let you know how that one goes. I'll do an episode about it, of course. But the first class was pretty interesting because she really threw us up there. We had to write a little bit beforehand. And then when we got there to the first class, she was like, all right, here's the microphone. Everyone get up and do a 3-minute set just to understand what it feels like to have the microphone in hand, hear your voice being amplified, tell your jokes. And they probably don't land well because you don't know the joke structure yet, but it's really just to get that feeling. And then at the end, we had to do a 2-minute set. And I'll say, I love being up on stage. So having that foundation of public speaking, I wasn't super nervous to be in front of people. I don't think I was very fidgety. I might have moved my hands a little bit as I talked, but otherwise I feel like I stood my ground a bit and was confident in my stance at least. The joke structure I will improve upon, my delivery I will improve upon. But that's my goal in this is I think getting more reps in stand up will help with my delivery and my pacing and just how to work my funny bone and discover my humor style. Because honestly, I can't describe my humor style right now. And I'm hoping, and I think by the end of this class, and as I keep going with it, I will know what my style is and I'll be able to enhance that and build upon it even more. So to be continued with the stand up stuff. But hey, those are my two goals, and I've accomplished them by the end of the fiscal year. By June 30th, I will have done those two classes. So I've got the rest of the year now in 2023 to just do whatever else I want. All the rest is lagniappe at this point, which is a New Orleans term for a little something extra. I say New Orleans term, it's a French word for a little something extra. And, everything else after this is lagniappe at this point. And that's cool. That'll be fun to see what other classes I end up taking this year and how I progress in that. So here I am. I have arrived at 35 and I'm feeling alive. I'm ready to thrive. I'm really excited about this age. And I know in our culture and society, we're afraid of aging and we don't want to say what our ages are, but honestly, I'm going to lean into it. There's no hiding it. I am 35. And also, I'm really proud of this age and this confidence level that I've reached. Without Toastmasters and improv and all of this personal development, if I don't have that, I think my 35 looks a lot different from what it does now. And I'm really proud of what I've built and what I've done now. I've started a public speaking business, which I would have never dreamed I would do. Oh my God, if you would tell October 2014 Dana, 26-year-old Dana, just starting out in Toastmasters, that I have started and built a public speaking business, she would say, "You are crazy." Because I'm only doing Toastmasters for a few months. I'm going to work on this and then I'm getting out of here. And clearly that didn't happen, thank goodness. And I really leaned into just this love of public speaking. That's amazing. I would have severely limited myself 10 years ago, but now I can see just how far I've come in that 10 years. I love improv now. I'm doing musical improv and stand up. I'm also, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm dabbling. I'm trying out this pod mom character where I'm a podcast mom where I talk all about my little baby podcast and probably speaking. It's fun. I think it's funny, so I'm totally leaning into it. But I'm developing this character. I have a character now. Who is this person? Like 10 years ago, 25-year-old Dana would be like, "Who is that? I don't even recognize her. She is doing things I never dreamed I would do." And I think that is the coolest part about turning 35 now. That is the best gift of all, that I turned 35 and I can say, I am exactly where I thought I would be, but I've had to work for it. I've had to earn it. And I think that is so much cooler and better than turning 35 and magically becoming confident. Because honestly, I don't think that happens. Maybe it happens for some, like those actual moms who have kids and don't have time to care. Maybe, I don't know. But I think that's the coolest part about 35. And I'm really excited about this gift of confidence that I've developed and earned and grown over the years. And I can't wait to see where this confidence takes me. And the biggest thing I've learned just in starting this business and leading improv workshops is that all these limitations that I think are in the way are all created by me. They're all self limitations. I have so many goals and things I want to do, and the only thing holding me back from doing them is me and time. But that's also a self limiting belief that I have, that I don't have enough time. And it's because I'm not creating it for myself. I'm not letting go or purging of things to allow more time to do the things that I want to grow the business. So I've been doing a lot of self work as well during this time to find myself and figure out what I truly want. And also just the fact that I said that I'm proud of myself. Let's not minimize that, because there have been many years of my life that I have not acknowledged my growth and not given myself acknowledgement for the growth that I've had. So the fact that I can just say that I'm proud of myself for loving public speaking, for doing this podcast, for starting the business, I am just proud of myself, period. Big win, huge win there. And you got to hear it here on the podcast too, which is equally amazing. So where do I go from here? What are my goals? 35 and beyond. You know, I'm 35 and alive, but we gotta thrive and keep going. There's a lot of 5 rhymes here. I'm sorry, but I gotta do it. But yeah, my goals, I want to keep growing my business. Of course, I have a ton of ideas, and again, just have kind of been holding myself back. Obviously, time is a factor. This is a side business for me, but I want it to grow into more than a side business. I want this to grow into a full-time venture, a sustainable job and career. And I can do that. And I believe I can do that. But I just have to keep moving and keep releasing things. I want to, of course, keep offering my corporate workshops and trainings. I want to improve those. I have a lot of ideas. I've started offering some psychological safety trainings that I think are really, really good. You don't put the words improv or applied improv and psychological safety usually in the same sentence, but actually applied improv can really help create psychological safety and train people to have the skills that create psychological safety in the workplace. So that was a big light bulb moment. And there are other people out there doing this work too. It's so cool. It's so awesome to see. And I really want to lean into that more. I also want to start offering monthly workshops where I offer it for anyone to join and kind of see what the trainings look like and how the exercises run. And I just haven't, for whatever reason, set those up, but I would like to get a little calendar of sessions and topics that I offer for everyone who's interested in applied improv, whether they want to learn exercises that they can do, or someone is interested in offering a training, they want to see a demo of how it goes. If I have friends who are just curious what I'm doing, like I want to offer that. And those are easy to set up, but it's scary to promote. And I have been scared to promote that. I will admit that here. I've been scared to offer those. And then, no one attends it. And that, of course, hurts. So I have to lean into that fear and follow the fear, follow the fun, because no one's going to show up now because I'm not offering it. People will show up if I offer it, but I have to offer it for people to attend them. And also, I want to lean into my one-on-one coaching more. I want to use the tools and skills of improv to help with impromptu speaking and speaking off the cuff. Improv can really help. It has improved my impromptu speaking skills tremendously, and I want to use those skills to help people one-on-one. I will always recommend people to go do Toastmasters. It is a great organization to practice speaking in a low stakes environment. I will just say it is a commitment to do Toastmasters sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to find the club that works for you. Anything you want to do is a commitment, and it's a commitment worth making. So please go check it out. But I think the one-on-one training can help you improve your skills faster. So you could also do Toastmasters and do one-on-one training, but it'll help you get to where you need in a faster way. Honestly, it took me like 8 to 9 years to get to this point. And I think you could definitely speed up that process if you work on it and work with a speaking coach to develop those impromptu training skills. And also with my corporate workshops, I want to develop more series too. Right now, I'm doing a lot of one and done type of sessions, and that's fine. It always gets really good reviews and testimonials. But I think the real work comes with doing this week after week for a certain period of time, like 4 to 6 weeks, and each week is a different topic with different exercises. I think that is where the true impacts and outcomes are seen. And you just can't get that in a 1 hour session, or even a 2 hour session. Like, there has to be work over time. And I really want to encourage my clients to commit to doing a 4 to 6 week series training on this with the same people attending the series. And I know that's a lot to ask. People have a lot on their plate at work, but I think that is where I'm going to see more impact in my business, and I can reach people in a better way. So I'm going to lean into that more as well. So that's a lot, and that won't happen overnight with the business, but I can't be discouraged by that. I just have to keep going, one foot in front of the other. A micro step every day leads to a bigger step later on, and I just have to keep taking those micro steps. That's what I've done the past 10 years without realizing it. And looking back on it, I love the progress that I've made. And I can't get in my head and have all these self-limiting beliefs that I can't do it or I'm not good enough. Those aren't serving me. And I have to do this. Some personal and, improv performance goals I have. I want to be more efficient and effective with my words. I got to tell you, I sat down to do this episode and I was like, I don't know if I'll even get to 15, 20 minutes. And here I am at like 35, 40 minutes. And I'll edit it down a bit, but wow, I can talk and ramble. And I always hit the mark, and I'm always rushing at the end of presentations, and I want to really improve on that to where the end of my presentations feel very clean. They're not forced, they're not rushed. Everyone feels like it was wrapped up nicely. And I think that comes with being more efficient and effective. And also just recognizing that in myself, that I have more room for growth and improvement there. I want to try clowning more. I took a weekend workshop, an 8-hour weekend workshop a few months ago, and I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting and different. I'd like to take more workshops. I had on Don Colliver, which I will be releasing that episode soon, and he is a clown and uses clown to help people with their stage presence and public speaking. He was a Toastmaster as well, and he'll be speaking at the Toastmasters convention. So I think that's really cool to see how he's using clown to help people with their public speaking skills. So I'd like to dabble in that more. And I want to lean into my pod mom character more. I haven't posted any videos in a while. I want to get back on that. I have ideas, and I've just been holding myself back out of fear, out of lack of time. I don't know. But I want to really lean into that character and develop and stretch that character more. And then I don't want to shrink anymore. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times in conversations, I find that either I don't say what I think, or I kind of shrink back and just say, well, it doesn't matter what I have to say, and that I don't want to harp on this for much longer. So let's just keep it moving. I'll just hold it back. I'll hold it in. And I don't want to hold it in anymore. I don't want to shrink back anymore. I want to communicate effectively. I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to share my opinions. I want to share what I'm thinking. And I don't want to be afraid of conflict or afraid of whatever might come up from that. I don't want to be afraid of confrontation. And it's not to say that I'm going to be rude and share in a rude way that, offends people. There's a right way to say things and voice your opinions. And I want to practice that. That is a skill. That is a thing to practice. That is something I will not be good at right away, but I can't improve upon it until I actually do it and learn from my mistakes and get better over time. So I'm excited for 35, and I will let you know, and I'll keep you updated on all the improvements and light bulb moments and things that have come up along the way. And I will do more solo episodes because this was fun. I hope it was fun for you to listen to as well. So I want to turn it over to you. I've been talking for a while. I want to turn it over to you and ask you if you had that magical age where you thought, oh, I would be here at this age. I would be a manager by now, or I would be leading a company, or I would be a parent. We always have these ideas in our head about where we'll be at a certain age. What was that age for you? And then follow-up question, if you're at that age now, or you've passed it, you've hit that age milestone, were you where you wanted to be? And if not, how can you get better at it? What's something you can do right now or tomorrow? What is something you can do to improve upon that? This podcast likes to focus on improv, public speaking, communication, performance, and creativity. I think that encompasses a lot, but that's not all the things. Those are 5 things that I really enjoy and that I've kind of discovered a love of over the past 10 years when I started to get into my career. And now I can see just how much those 5 things really have helped me in my career. So, what do you need, whether it's your professional life or personal life? What do you need to help you grow and hit that age milestone with a love and pride for yourself and all the things you've accomplished? Let me know if anything came up this episode. I would love to hear from you. You could reach out to me at Dana at Improvly Speaking. That's DAYNA at improvelyspeaking.com. Always happy to chat, and I love hearing from people. I have received some emails from people who've reached out, and I've got to tell you, they make me so excited and they warm my heart. And actually, it's encouraged me to reach out to podcast hosts that I listen to, because I know the feeling that I get when I hear from a fan or a listener, and I want to pay it forward and also share that I'm listening to the host as well. It always helps to know that people are listening and what you've said resonated or helped them in a certain way. So all that to say, I love hearing from you. Please reach out. You can also reach out to me on social media. On Instagram, I'm at Improvly Speaking. You can see my weird, silly, fun pod mom character in action. I don't know. I'm working on it. I think it's funny. There's something there. It's not going to be perfect right off the bat, but I just have to lean into it and follow the fun. And I think there's some fun things there. So follow me on Instagram to see what Pod Mom is up to. And also on LinkedIn, I'm at Dana Gowan. And you can find out more about me and my business at improvelyspeaking.com. Another follow-up question here. I like to take a lot of classes because for me, classes help to give me the skills and then the confidence to do the activity and to get better at it. And I don't do well with like web courses and self-paced stuff. Like, it has to be very interactive class, really hands-on learning class for me to enjoy it. So I want to ask you, what's a class, if you like taking classes, what's a class that you can take that will help you improve your skills and grow and level up? What's something that you can sign up for that maybe you've been thinking about signing up for? And it could be a workout class. It could be a CPR class. I mean, it could be anything that you've been thinking about doing. What's that thing standing out that you want to sign up for? And here's your permission slip to go do it, as long as, of course, the funding's there and you've got the time and your boundaries are good and all that, of course. But here's your permission slip to do that. Thank you so much for listening today. My solo ones are never quite as short as I think they are, but that's okay. I had a lot to unpack and get out. I hope it was helpful. Honestly, it was very helpful for me to unpack some of this and just share my progress and how proud I am of myself. So a bit of a, pat myself on the back episode. But if you know me and know anything about me, you know how huge this is. So thanks for listening and supporting. Thanks for being here and being a part of the Improvly Speaking world and community. Really appreciate you, and go out and flex your creative thinking. And I'll talk to you next time.